steam engine has a tunnel on it. It was pulled around by horses to wherever it was needed, and then you put a belt onto the flywheel. This particular engine, built in 1896, is rated at 6 and about 18 horsepower, shown by the Carrickfield Metro Park. Operators are that man up there on the tractor, Jim Gibney and Adam Isaacson, and other volunteers. They use it at the Carrickfield Metro Park for a lot of demonstrations, including scalding hogs, corn grinding, threshing, cooking sweet corn, and pressing sorghum. And they spent most of the weekend down on the buzzsaw and did a good job. Thank you. You got a whistle up there. Any more? That's it. One. Okay. Hey, thank you. And anybody close, you give a big hand. Thank you for bringing it through. Next up, we have a Huber steam engine go over Marion, Ohio. This is owned and operated up there by Mr. John Yowler, South Charleston, Ohio. Rated about 16, about 50 horsepower. Built in 1920, weighs 10 tons. It's a return flue. There's a big flue in the center. You put the fire in there, and it literally throws the fire out the front, and it hits the concave and comes back through extra tubes, return flue, and you have the smokestack there at the back. It was once owned by a gentleman named Art Highland, who was one of the original members, or close to the original members of this organization. Josh, you got a whistle up there in Maryland. Okay. Hey, thanks, John. Appreciate it. You did a good job all weekend. Appreciate it. Next up, we have one of our feature steam engines. This is a Frick steam engine. It is rated at 16 and 50 horsepower. Built in 1913, weighs about 8.5 tons. Built by Dave Pence over in Bluffton, Indiana. This has a JS boiler. Those of you who understand, that's Jonas Stutzman built the boiler for it. And it's a single cylinder. It was finished in 2008. And Dave is a long-standing member of this club. Been here for several years now. And Mr. Pence, you got a whistle. Any more? Any more? No. Okay. Hey, thank you. Give a big hand. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. It's followed by a Robinson steam engine. This was made down in Richmond, Indiana, about 35, 40 miles from here. It was built in 1911, weighs approximately 8 tons. It's rated at 20 and 60 horsepower. There are only 6 Robinsons known to exist, and this is the largest. Those of you on the other side, when they engage the clutch, there's actually pieces of wood that are pushed outward up against the inside of the flywheel. This one has metal caps on those woods. There's one reason they didn't have to pay the copyright and the patent laws. They didn't have to pay. It was changed enough that they didn't have to pay for somebody else's patent. Owned by the Larry Simmons family in Webster, Ohio, and we appreciate them bringing it here again. Larry, you got a whistle. Any more? Any more? Oh, you stinker, you. That's the Wildcat whistle. Appreciate it. Thanks, Larry. Next up, we have a Baker steam engine. This engine's been here for years because the gentleman that owns it's been here for years. This is rated at 23 and 90 horsepower, built in 1925, weighs about 13 tons. It's a heavy-duty Uniflow. All this is owned by Mr. Kim Beesecker of Arcanum, Ohio. Baker designed a Uniflow valve that many people like and some people don't. And it's how it does the steam inside the cylinder. Now I'm going to keep this going, so I'm not going to explain too much more. Kim has been a long-time member of this organization. We appreciate it. He and his family and all his dad and grandpa and others. Kim, you got a whistle. Any more? No, that's it. Thank you, Kim. Good to see you again. Appreciate it. Now, Kim reared and corrected. This is his son and his son's engine. This is a 16 and 60 horsepower Baker steam engine built in 1905, weighs about 8 tons, owned by the gentleman there in the back that's walking. KCB Center, Arcanum, Ohio. On this side, people with my side can see there's a galvanized water tank on the side. Now, The oldest Baker steam engine known to exist is number 1. Abner sold in 1898. He bought it back in 1904, and the family still owns it. It's up in Sauber Museum. The next oldest Baker to be around is this one, serial number 130. Got a headlight up there on the front of it, and I believe are those yours, kids? Oh, he's got 2 boys, he's training. Oh yeah, they're proud. Yeah. I'm a stud muff. Hey guys, you got a whistle. Any more? Okay, now look this way, wave. There you go. Good job. Great job. All right, next up are the other 2 tricks that we have here this year. We're featuring trick again. This particular steam engine, if you'll look, those of you who can see, there are 2 front ends of cylinders on there because it has 2 cylinders on it. It's simple double, just 2 regular cylinders there. It's owned by Bob Boston and son Rob, and Rob's the one that's here from Nelsonville, Ohio, and also Tim Luck of Amanda. It's rated at 60 horsepower, built in 1920, weighs about 9.5 tons, and again, it is a double. The next is well, let's get that. Hey Rob, you got a whistle. Any more? Any more? That it? Okay, that's it. All right, good. And next, behind that, they're pulling the Frick Portable. And this is one of those I was telling you about. You can take the horse and pull it around, just like that Empire. This thing is rated also at 16 and 50 horsepower, built in 1924. Without all the gearing, it only weighs about 4 tons, owned by Paul Boston and Jeanette Clifford. Is that Jeanette? Okay, very good to see you, Jeanette. All both from Durango, Ohio. It ran a sawmill, and then it was sold to a guy in West Virginia, and then sold to Paul. Okay, between the 2 of you, you got a whistle. Okay, good job. Any more? That's a woman. She'll just keep going. Yeah, I know. Okay. Hey, give him a big hand. Thank you. Now remember, I told you on that trick there were 2 simple cylinders up on there. If you look on this side again of this one, the 40, there are 2 cylinders on it. One is in front of the other, the little one in front, and that is a high pressure steam cylinder. Uses the steam, vents it into the low pressure, and uses it again, and that is called a tandem compound. When you use high pressure and low pressure, it's a compound, and since these are in together, it's a tandem. This one, this one is rated at 24 and 75 horsepower, built in 1920, weighs about 12 tons, owned by Norm and Elise Kramer up there from Eaton, Ohio. And I think that's all I need to tell them about. You got a whistle. Any more? Any more, Norm? I hope. You got any more? No, okay, that's enough. Thanks. Hey, give him a big hand. Great job. Now we have a steam model. This is a half-scale model of a cage steam engine. This one was built by a gentleman named Wilson out in Wisconsin, 1967. Eventually came to the Niehoff family, now owned by Calvin Niehoff, College Corner, Ohio. And if you look carefully where it says case there, underneath there is a blue. Well, that is called a jacket. And underneath it is wood, and it helps keep the heat in the boiler. Calvin, you got a whistle.
Yeah.
Any more? Any more? Okay, I hesitate to ask. You got any more? He's got one too. Hey, thank you, Calvin. Good to see you always. Great job. Next up, we have Mr. Wyatt Downer. He is driving his grandpa's 1/3 scale Advanced Rumley. It's owned by Steve Countryman Middletown, Ohio, and it was purchased at an auction at the Ray Miller Museum in Elkhart, Indiana. They're still trying to find information out about it. Now, Wyatt has a quarter-scale peerless over here that is a model that's only 1/4 scale, and he used it for his FFA project this year and won the state. Now he is in the national competition. So we got a very special gentleman up there, and that's his girlfriend on this side, but I won't embarrass him anymore. Wyatt, you got a whistle? Any more? Any more? Okay, now wait a minute, there you go. You get a chance to go down and visit with Wyatt and look at his teammates. Great job, Wyatt. Special thanks to Alan Pettigene for helping these last 3 days so far. 1940 Farmall M, owned by David Gibson, Hollinsburg, Ohio. That's the man driving right up there, the man, the one, the man. He's our president of this organization. Give him a big hand, David Gibson. Appreciate it, Dave. Great show. With all the help you get. Good job. 1945, John Deere H, owned by Doug Fritz of Modoc, Indiana, and driven by, is it pronounced Hayden or Hayden? Hayden Martin. I'm a music teacher. It's Hayden, you know. So Hayden Martin, and it's owned by Doug Fritz, Modoc, Indiana. Thank you for coming. In 1946, John Deere B, owned by that gentleman up there standing up, Mike Thornhill, Ansonia, Ohio, and is driven by his son there, Nick, and pulling the cultivator. Good job. And thanks, Mike, for all that you do. He's one of our trustees. Great job. Next up, in 1958, Alshammer D17, owned by Taylor Stuck, New Weston, Ohio, driven by his son, Troy Stuck. The tractor was restored by Taylor after beginning to him by his grandpa. It's pulling an all-crop Alshammer Model 60 combine. And you're going to run it after the parade today. All right. In a short while, he's going to take it out in the field and combine some more of the wheat out there. It wasn't always like today, where you have the big four-wheel drive and the big header across the front. This was back when they started pulling the combine. And again, remember, one man to pull that combine, harvest some of the wheat, took the place of the 10 to 12 to 15 people that took out there with the steam engine and the separator. Next up in 1961, John Deere 2010, owned by Thornhill Acres up at Rockford, Ohio, driven, it says here, by Andrew Thornhill, the third generation of the family farm tractor. Got Colton Thornhill, Darrell Thornhill are riding there. Very good, thank you. Doing a good job. Next up, a 1967 Wheelhorse 857 garden tractor, owned by Gary Shiverdecker of Lafayette, Indiana. It's driven by his grandson there, Wyatt Shiverdecker, and they've done a great job. Gary has been operating one of our Advent steam engines and helping out Kenny Olery. And Gary, there in the straw hat, was the president of this organization for many years. And the family's been in it since 1957, all 59 years. 1937, John Deere Model A, owned by Dave and Brenda Pettigene, Full Recovery Ohio. That's Luella Pettigene up there. And is that right? Special? Oh, she's a special guest driver. Remember now, from Arkansas. You're having a hard time driving on straight roads. Yeah, they're kind of like this down in Arkansas, aren't they? Okay. All right. And you can't drive in reverse? It won't go in reverse? Okay. Well, it's a big yard. You ought to be able to, you just turn around that way. There we go. Next, followed by 1938 John Deere G low radiator model, it says, owned by Alan Pettigene. You got him right here beside me, Full Recovery Ohio. And it's driven by Shayna Pettigene, who's a sister-in-law. This is the first time driving the tractor was last night when Al Cameron decided to drive a real tractor for brother-in-law's John Deere. Ooh. Hope Taylor Stuck didn't hear that. Oh, he did. Oh, no. You may be in trouble with Taylor. In 1937, John Deere Model A, driven by Brenda Fettuccine. That's Alan's mom, former recovery of Alan Purposeville. Brenda Fettuccine up there, she owns it now, okay? She's not just driving it, that's her tractor. This is a tractor Brenda learned to drive home on plowing in competitions with her dad. Her dad's Paul Newport passed away last August, and Brenda received this tractor and the plow that they used. Paul was from the Frenchtown, Versailles area, and our sympathy for you losing your dad last year. And her son's going to deliver her paper. There you go. All right, next up, a 1952 Ford Model 8N, owned by Bill Taylor of Richmond, Indiana. It says here driven by Bill Taylor. The Wild Wagon was built by Mr. David Lawhead. Now, let me say, that's the one waving there. If you look over to the tractor pull area and you see the stage that they're announcing from, or if you saw the band the last couple of days, Dave also built that. And so Dave's quite talented that way. Appreciate you bringing the Ford through and the wagon. Great job, guys. Followed by 1941 John Deere H, owned by Don Airy of Springboro, Ohio, and driven up there by John and his grandson or great? Grandson? Okay. Appreciate it. '39 John Deere BO. Now, what it really is a Model B with orchard attachments on it. You look carefully over the wheels. Those fenders are built to help out that way, so they go through the orchard. Larry and Don Airy, Warren County, Ohio. And it says here, driven by Lorena Chester, and they call her Tootie Airy of Lake City, Florida. Good job, Tootie. Thank you for coming. Colton, just wait a minute. Colton, just stop, Keep that your paper, just stop. It's a John Deere. Okay, now I'm done. Hang on. '38 John Deere D. Okay. Driven up there by Colton. Appreciate it. Thank you. Is this the Massey? Yes, okay. This is a Massey Ferguson. They don't know what year. It's a Model 7, owned by John and Candace Gibney of Greenville, driven by Candace Gibney, it says, being helped by her daughter, Zoriana Dehart, and son, Zariah Gibney, and sister-in-law, Sarah Gibney. There you go. Next, followed by a 1971 Boland's Husky. It's a 1256 Hydro, also owned by John and Candace Gibney of Greenville, Ohio, driven by John. Slow down, John. Here's your paper. All right, the next one is a Bantam, 1955, and it's a Model 5000, owned by Dale Airy of Middletown, Ohio, and driven by David Airy, who is Dale's grandson, with help. All right, 1932, John Deere Depression Model B, owned by Dave and Brenda Fettuccine, for recovery, Ohio, and Burgersville. That's driven by Dave Fettuccine, and right now, in front of everybody else, thank you, Dave and son Alan, for doing the tractor games. We appreciate it. It's a lot of hard work. There were only 188 of these built. This is all original, found in the farmer's farm. And let me tell you what we call that in the show circuit. That's still in his work clothes. And lots of people like to see it still in their work clothes. And if you get real close, sometimes you can see some of the decals and some of the paint. So it's still in work clothes. We appreciate it, Dave. Next up, one of those, we used to call them orphans and oddballs, now we call them lesser known. This is a 1949 Rock Wedge. Rated, it's a 49G owned by Dave and Brenda Pettigene, Ford Recovery in Burkittsville, driven by Adam Pettigene. It was sold new at Goods Garage in Arcanum, Ohio. It's built in Auburn, Ohio. Adam's great aunt and uncle originally owned this tractor. All right, next up we have a model farm-all built by Ralph Berry in 1955, and this is great-great-grandson Peyton driving the tractor. Or is that daughter? It's not a son. Why did you tell me grandson? It's a daughter. Great-great-granddaughter Peyton. I'm sorry, Peyton. I apologize. Don't get mad at me. He told me wrong. All I can see was your face. Great job. Ralph made 3 of these. One of them disappeared. It's a long story, but Kim, his grandson, found it and was able to get it back and bring it back to the family. Peyton, wave to the crowd. Come on, you did a good job. Thank you.
Oh, look at the
Now
dogs.
we have the Malamute Dog Team. Cool Hand Luke and Shana River Road, owned there by Sharon Harry Darnell from Ithaca, Ohio. Excuse me, Sharon Darnell. They are now a year and 4 months old. Last year they were 4 months old. Malamutes are the oldest and largest of the husky breeds developed in the northwest Alaska by the Malamute tribes to hunt full heavy loads as they move from camps from place to place. And truthfully, she wore the berries out on her wagon. All she's got left is the sled. She's had a good time this weekend. You can stop any time so I can talk. Come on, Sarah. I'm an old man and I'm fat. And it took me a while to bend over and pick this up. Okay, this is our team of horses. Chipper's on the left. Chipper is 14 years old, weighs about 2,400 pounds. So on the right is his horse named Magic. He's 13 years old, weighs about 2,200 pounds. They're both geldings, both about 18 hands high. They're owned by Jim Mills and his daughter Sarah up there. She's the one who was waving at me with, no, she wasn't, okay. And they have 3 wagons here, a couple of hay wagons, and this ride-around wagon that they give rides in. These are used for farm work, for shows, 4-H, parades, and here on the ground, and we appreciate it immensely. Thank you, Sarah, and everybody else up there. Thank you so much, appreciate it. They've been bringing the weed out so we can thresh it. Ladies and gentlemen, that does conclude our parade for today. Not bad for a little parade there. Thank you very much. Hope you had a good time.